So now the last thing I have to do for you guys is I need to show you how to do this second question. I meant to put this with the previous section 4, but I stopped it a little bit short. I got called away. So let me do this particular section now. What you notice here is that the function is y equals 2 to the x, and the values of x are right here. So I'm going to do 2 to the negative 2, 2 to the negative 1, 2 to the 0, 2 to the 1, 2 to the 2, 2 to the 3, and those values will be the output. So they'll go in the y row. Remember, x is input, y is output. The best way to do this is on your calculator, and I would strongly suggest, later in the year we'll be able to do it in our head, but for now we'd use the calculator. I strongly suggest you put that negative 2 in a parenthesis. If you don't, I'm not sure it'll work out well. So 2 to the negative 2, we're actually talking like crazy here. Again, I'll sign real quick. No, that's okay. I'm making a screen recording for my other class right now. I have a minute I have to finish up before things get going. Gracias. All right, enjoy. Now, it's 2 to the power of x, and if I put in parentheses negative 2, 2 to the negative 2, your calculator will tell you is 0.25. Once again, later in the year we'll explain why and how, but for now just go with what the calculator says. 2 to the negative 1 is 0.5. 2 to the 0, anything to the 0 except 0 to the 0 is 1. 2 to the 1 is 2. 2 to the 2 is 4. 2 to the 3 is 8. And then when we go to graph this, we're going to graph, clearly this is an exponential function. It's 2 to the x. An exponential function is when the variable is in the exponent. So if I plot these points, I'm going to go to this input-output. This is the point negative 2, comma 0.25. So I go to here and I get negative 2, and then 0.25 is right here. Next I go to negative 1.5, which is here. Then I go to 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, and then 4, 8. And now it's just a matter of connecting the dots. And I do apologize, my pen is slightly misaligned, so this may come out just a little bit wrong. And it goes on forever and ever. Remember, it does not touch over here. This is an asymptote. It doesn't even parallel the line. They get closer and closer and closer, but they never do touch. Now, a lot of kids did that, and then they forgot to answer the question in the middle, or they got the answer in the middle wrong. Find the average rate of change. Well, we just did a whole question on average rate of change. Rate of change is change in y over change in x, change in output over change in input. And what we have going on here is we want it over the interval from 0 to 2. So we want from here to here. So if I write them as coordinates, I have the point 0, 1 and the point 2, 4. And then I do the change in y over change in x. So I got to do 4 minus 1, here's my y's, over 2 minus 0, there's my x's, which gives me 3 over 2, and leave it like that. Don't convert to a decimal and make it 1.5. 3 over 2 is fine. Remember, slopes are fractions. Slopes are not decimals, generally speaking. All right? Okay, so we now finish that up, and I can add this video to the collection so that people can understand better what it is that they did that was wrong.